Hello and welcome to final round back nine coverage from the 2018 Nick Hyde Memorial from Rockwall, Texas. We have BigSexy commentary again, a great card of players. Nate Sexton and Jeremy Koling here with you. Thanks for tuning in.
And it's kind of a three-man show, at least on the league card. We've got one stroke separating the top three. Nate, you fell back a little bit, but there's still room in the back nine to do something extraordinary if the players give you any light at all to breathe.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm definitely looking for that. Hole 10, par 4, 456, short par 4, but very technical. And again, as Harry Myers is everywhere, just brutal rough if you get off the fairway at all.
Yeah, the main thing you want to do here is the straight drive. And a lot of these players are going to be going the big high and hyzer route here. And if you can keep that thing going right, but not too far right, that's going to put you in perfect position.
Difficult shot to film, but that did find grassy land. He's not in the rough.
I feel like this is the atypical play and really takes a player who can throw that high and knows exactly where that's going to land, because anything off to the right, I don't care how close you are to the basket, is going to be doomsday, and it's going to take one or two shots to get out if you're lucky.
Yeah, but honestly, I feel it's pretty hard to go too far right with the angle that you have to start it on.
You're probably right about that.
It's pretty hard to turn it that much. I went with this play every round. Mixed success, of course.
And what are you throwing here?
This Flippy Destroyer, but this time I did not get enough ante, so I'm cruising over Big Germ's head on hole 11 right now.
Okay.
To the far side of hole 11. So I can see the basket here.
Wow.
Trying to go with the Thunderbird, but this is hyzering out way too soon. I need it to hit something.
Oh.
And it doesn't hit anything.
Oh,
and
no.
I don't think there'll ever be a camera that can cut through the rough that I'm about to deal with.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's really bad. And Ricky, wow, just trying to get out there, and he's left himself a long look at birdie, but that is a very, very scary putt. If you can do what Eagle did off the tee and have a jump putt approach on this hole, you're making your life so much simpler.
Yes. It was the draw of that kept making me want to do the ante. I got it to work once. Now this must be me attempting to get out.
Oh, wow.
Failing.
Yeah, that's about as much as the camera could possibly see of you. And Ricky Oh, man. Give the man some credit. 42. That was more like closer to 52. Incredible putt. Just supreme confidence. And we've already had 2 SloMez's from Ricky so far. Not surprising, but both big putts.
And there's my next pitch out.
Wow. So that's going to be a bogey, par, bogey stretch here for you. And that's pretty much going to shut the door on your opportunities to win this event.
Yeah, that's how I felt for sure. And I think we must have missed Paul's layup. It was very similar to Eagles, just a jump putt up to the pin.
Birdie Fest, 8 of the last 10 holes.
What I wouldn't give to attend a Birdie Fest at this moment, I need an invite.
Yeah,
get me in there.
Invite for one player only, and his name is not Nate Sexton. So
I don't even need a +1, man. Just get me in the Birdie Fest. Get me in the door, Paul. I'll be all right.
No.
Hole 11, par 4, 724. There's a huge Anheuser play, and there's up the middle play. As we've said hundreds of times now, this guy always goes huge.
And that's a tight line, but he gets around the initial cabbage. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Look at it.
It's crushed.
Oh, dear goodness.
Yeah, it's as far as you can do.
What is that? Oof.
Eagle with a similar shot.
Does it have the height and turn and distance and all? Yeah, it does. I didn't quite get the distance because of the tree, but even if it missed that, it still wouldn't have been within 30 feet of Paul's rip.
Ricky with the same line.
I don't know, guys. That gap might be enticing to a number of players, but once you get there on that tee, it just seems a lot tighter than that. And to be able to throw a high-speed, fast-distance driver with a wide rim through that tiny hole and making sure that it doesn't fade left is such a difficult task.
Yeah, they're going over out of bounds on that shot. It's an amazing shot.
And that's one of the most unfortunate breaks. Hopefully that tree's not too much in the way.
It's not too bad.
I'd say 95 times out of 100, you'd have the furthest drive of the group with that tee shot, and you looked like you barely even threw a tee shot there.
Yeah, it's in a good spot for sure, but I'm way behind my group mates.
Yeah, I've never seen a better grouping of 3 drives on this hole ever. That's a... What? Jeez, look at that. Unbelievable. So simple.
Rick with the forehand. Right to the pin.
Man.
And Paul's going to putt this.
Are you kidding? Don't do that. Oh, goodness. I think 85 to 90% of the field is throwing a high-speed driver second shot on this hole. Right or wrong?
Yeah. I think you're probably right. I mean, not many people getting out in the clear. You know, there's a lot of big hyzer play, forehand up shot, but not a lot of people with the luxury to pull out a putter. And we just saw 3 guys do it, and Paul with a legit putting form. He was so close.
Yeah, this is going to be the first star frame this hole has seen, at least this weekend, and I've got to imagine for years.
Maybe.
Very, very difficult hole. It's the 3rd hardest hole in the course. One of the only, not many holes on this final day actually average over par, but this one averaged 4.13, so a pretty difficult hole.
And now we are on to hole 12, par 3, 332, uphill, OB on the left side and thick rough. Right side is kind of dotted with trees that are also very thick. 2 real choices here, up the middle with a fairway driver or big hyzer with the distance driver.
And McBeth deciding to go for the perfect play and continue this ridiculous onslaught of birdies. He's playing perfect. I mean, that's going to put him 10 down through 12 holes and really... And he's not even... He's still tied with Wysocki. This is just really, really impressive disc golf. And oh, yeah, Eagle McMahon.
Just sits it perfect right there. Ricky and Paul are guys that, you know, every year, as soon as the tickets go on sale, they're buying tickets to Birdie Fest, and they're like right there. They drive the van out there. They're camping out. They hardly ever miss a Birdie Fest.
Yeah, they're on full-time tour.
Yeah, they're on Ticketmaster right away. Like first minute that Birdie Fest tickets go on sale, they buy them.
My friend actually, this is a true story. My friend actually invited me to Birdie Fest a couple years ago, and it was a lot of fun. But I haven't actually been back since.
Man, yeah. See, I would love to go again, but it's just the tickets are in high demand. Here I am from 40 feet. I was actually in this bush 3 out of 3. And I hit the cage 3 out of 3. I got to learn to putt a little bit harder.
Well, rock and roll. Ricky is in the basket here, jamming out.
Eagle's more of maybe like an EDM guy. But, you know, there's a main stage. There's a side stage.
I don't know, man. I could see Eagle jamming out with the folk music at the Birdie Fest.
Oh, for sure. I mean, if there's a Grateful Dead cover band, he's going to be right up front.
Those skinny florals would fit right in. Paul with just textbook clinic right now. What do we have? 2 9 downs through 12 and a 10 down through 12 so far with these 3 guys.
And I might as well be 10 over the way it feels right now.
Nate, no offense, we're not talking about you anymore, dude.
I get it. Hole 13, par 3, 222, slightly uphill. OB on the left side, OB long. Paul's been going with this over-the-top play with the Anheuser Destroyer.
It's kind of a surprising play. I feel like there's a lot better options, but who am I to say? I haven't been to Birdie Fest in years, and see that tree just comes in play every time. I don't know exactly how aware he is of how much that tree's in the way. I would say he's probably highly aware, but that's not a shot that I see Paul missing if he goes for it that often.
Yeah,
the Eagle play.
Yeah, sure. And Ricky gonna try to follow Eagle's line, low backhand.
Oh,
but he does not do it. I'm going Firebird.
I'm going with the wide route. That's the most preferable sidearm play there, and that's going to leave you about 20 feet short. Maybe you can take a look like from near the fence at what's going on inside the show.
Yeah, man, I can almost hear the music.
Oh, wow. And we're going to see this because he had to go through the tree and just never really had a chance at that high left side. Had that been a foot lower, that's in the basket. But, yep, that just didn't quite get it to flatten out all the way.
Two birdies, two pars on 13 and on to 14. Par 3, 283 feet with OB along the left side. Most popular play here is going to be a forehand playing for a skip. So you want to throw a pretty severe hyzer, stay away from the OB fence, get enough angle to skip through that lush Texas grass, and get up on the green.
Non-interesting fact of the day, Nate. The 13th hole was the 14th difficulty. The 14th hole was the 13th difficulty.
That is so borderlinely interesting. I love it.
And we see Eagle play that overstable. Is that Max or is that PD2? I'm not sure, but he's been throwing.
I'm not sure what it is, but it's way overstable.
And it's been very highly effective lately. And you're getting your Firebird around that corner there. Those last two trees on the left side are really the only thing you'd like to miss as long as you're keeping it away from the bush line that's long and OB. And McBeth splitting the gap there.
Yeah.
Yep. He's welcome back into the show. A brief intermission at the bathroom, and he's back to the music.
And Ricky.
Okay.
They're going to have to they might invite Rick up on stage for a guitar solo pretty soon if he keeps this up.
Look at this golf. 3 players tied at 26 under. Coming down to it. Ricky's in the basket for birdie, just not giving any leeway here. This is just awesome seeing these 3 guys battle it out. And Nate,
5 birdies in a row for Eagle.
Nate to remain within 6.
Wow, he did it. Knocking on the door.
Nate, because you're so good, and this is just a little bit off, and it's just surprising.
Yeah, I don't mind, man. I can take a few jabs. I'm ready for it. Hole 15, par 3, 364, though I suspect it's a bit shorter than that. OB right behind the pin. Not a lot of great options here. You got a hyzer play, but there's a lot of trees right in the way at the end. I think widely considered to just be a bit of a weird hole by us and our peers.
And is that over the top of everything?
Yeah, super spike hyzer coming up 8 inches short of OB.
What?
Not a problem.
That is, how does the disc go that far forward?
Forehand roller for me. Really only one tree in the fairway, but I squared it.
Jeez. I think maybe you took a page out of the card in front of you. One of the players threw a forehand roller under the basket.
Was he big?
I'm not going to comment on that.
I think he was fairly big. I'm guessing.
I'm not going to say anything.
Okay. He was big.
And Ricky going with the more traditional flat hyzer play and catching the tree as so many shots often do here on this fairway with the really bushy branches.
Here's a perfect upshot.
Gosh.
And then a little slow roll to 40 feet. I thought it was just right, but caught the last little limb. Trees were not my friend on this particular hole.
And Ricky, oh, wow, what a bid there from about 75 feet. That really looked like that was going in.
He almost made it, and he also almost went out of bounds.
And Paul giving it kind of a semi-conservative, semi-aggressive run there. Well, not really aggressive. That OB, and just off the top. that OB really comes into play with any of those short shots around circle's edge. If you miss, it's hard to keep the disc in bounds. And this is an opportunity for Eagle to take that one-stroke lead with a few holes remaining, but he leaves it off to the right.
Ricky in for his par.
Yeah, and that's going to be a disappointing birdie. That's a par there. That's opening the door. And look at that. Bradley Williams through 15 holes is one stroke back of these three players who are playing phenomenal. I had the opportunity to play with Bradley Williams in this last round, and besides a 3-hole stretch, he practically played perfect. Made at least 4 putts outside the circle, including one 80-footer, and that doesn't include the eagle putt that he made on the second hole of the round. So really making a strong case for the title from Chase Card is Bradley Williams.
Hole 16, par 4, 617 feet. Tons of trees to deal with here. You can see an over-the-top forehand play, a low roller, a big turnover backhand. You just want to find some green grass to land in where you can throw a stand-up shot and try to get into this green. But as you can see, it is so well guarded, and anything off to either side you're either OB or you're in terrible jail.
If you want to see the basket, you're going to want to get over these trees and way off to the right. However, a lot of players do like to play a straight shot just under these trees, or maybe a hyzer shot over these trees off to the left. And it's going to leave you with a blind approach, but a fairly wide open spike hyzer. But I don't think that's going to be the play we're going to see from these guys, as you see Paul get very aggressive with that AVR Stamp Destroyer that he's been loving so much lately.
That's crushed.
Wow.
And it's not in a tree, so great things are happening.
And when you get that much distance, you really can't be picky and choosy about whether it goes into the fairway or not. You're just happy with the distance on this one.
And Ricky drops kind of early there after hitting the tree.
And that was heading to the perfect landing zone, just needed to avoid those last trees. It's going to be a very difficult up and down to get to the birdie.
I'm going with a destroyer here.
Oh, yeah, that's what you're looking for. That's a great shot. And, yeah, you can see Ricky doesn't have the hyzer line and doesn't really have a really good low line.
Going skip shot, but denied.
And that's going to open the door for Wysocki, for McMahon and McBeth.
Eagle going super spike hyzer.
And these are the... Wow, yeah, that'll do. McMahon and McBeth are the two least Irish people I've ever met in my life with the Mick last name. And
I'm going Firebird there.
That's a great approach shot there, and that really brings those golden chinkapins out of play there with that vertical hyzer.
You're right about that, Big.
And there it is. Eagle and Paul are going to get a stroke unless Ricky can do something crazy here and throw this in.
I've seen it before. Oh, man, just off to the right.
And you can tell. If he wanted to lay that up short under the basket, he could have. He was trying to make that shot.
Ricky in for par.
And he knows that's going to be dangerous. Hole 17 and 18 with the distance that Eagle and Paul have. It's going to bring Eagle opportunity for these two guys on 17. And 18 could play as a pretty simple hyzer to the basket. So that's a really valuable stroke that he just lost to those two players.
Hole 17, par 5, 990 feet. Starting out slightly uphill, finishing slightly downhill. A huge drive puts you in between these three trees where the drone is flying now. It sets up about a 450 foot approach shot into this little cove. As the theme of Harry Myers goes, though, obviously very, very thick rough, poison ivy, some thorns, some snakes probably. So you really want to stay in the short grass.
Yeah, I was warning Mike, our catch cam guy, that there's a bunch of ankle snakes up there on the green, so he had to be careful.
Yeah, he should. This is a huge roller from Eagle, but there is an out-of-bounds line.
That needs to come back in bounds if Eagle wants to have a chance. And it stays OB. That opens the door big time for McBeth. If he can keep this in bounds, he's going to have himself at least a one-stroke lead going into the final hole.
Hard to say, though, because, Eagle is so far up there. He could still make birdie.
Well, yeah, but he crossed out of bounds at least 100 feet back from where his drive landed. And this is in perfect position for Paul to give a good run there for an eagle chance. And Nate
got this a little too high.
Yeah. The day after you crushed the group, I don't believe you're going to be out crushing the group today.
No, not today. I have been in the circle twice for eagle on this hole already, so it's been good to me, but good to me in my big arm. But
oh, look at me. Look how good I am. I'm Nate Sexton.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 10 over par. Ricky with a big drive here. Oh, and cutting the corner perfectly.
That
yes.
is scary.
But that's the biggest distance. That's the closest you could be to the pin if you stay over there on the right.
I have to disagree.
Okay.
I kind of grip shanked one about 100 feet past these trees, and it blew my mind.
I'm going destroyer.
And that's going to be a little bit short of the circle one, but you are in circle two, I believe.
Yeah, it was a fantastic shot. I actually had a spectator come tell me it was the longest, straightest shot he'd ever seen.
Well,
so I appreciate that, whoever he was.
If you think that
Eagle's
was
trying to save it here, needs this to flex.
And it is a bit wide, and oh no, it is going to be safe thanks to our spectator, but it's going to be very difficult up and down to get his birdie. Let's see if
McBeth going to try to set up an eagle here with the T-Bird 3.
Get in the basket. That makes it much easier.
Oh my gosh.
We almost just saw an albatross on camera. Eagle is going to be a tap-in eagle for Paul. Wow, that is going to separate him by at least 2 strokes from eagle.
This is so crazy, so rare.
Shot of the tournament.
Par 5 inches from a 2 on a par 5. I mean, one of the shots of the year.
Man, why can't we just have that go in? I mean, that shot, regardless if it goes in or not, wins him the tournament as long as he doesn't do anything crazy on 18. And
yeah, I mean, I think he's thinking, Ricky still right here with a great chance at eagle. It's only going to be a 1-stroke game, so he was thinking to himself, if that goes in, it's all good. I'm just laying up on the last.
That's fair.
But Ricky has first I have this inconsequential putt for eagle.
I'd say it's consequential.
Well, not to anyone who cares about the tournament, but to me, I suppose. Ricky, 4 eagle, just high, and that is going to pretty much deliver a championship to Paul, a 2-stroke lead with just a fairly simple hole to play.
Yeah, I totally forgot to factor in the fact that Ricky was putting for eagle. That would have kept him 1 stroke back, which you can easily lose or gain a stroke on the final hole. 2
absolutely.
2 strokes isn't going to happen. But
nope.
And Ricky knows that's a dejected disc removal. And look at that eagle there from Paul McBeth. 3 eagles on the day on this hole. Matt Bell, Paul McBeth, and the big half of BigSexy.
Beautiful. Hole 18, par 3, 485, going uphill at the end. Just 1 tree in the way, plenty of water, but that's not scaring these guys. You just got to stay in bounds if you're McBeth. I would expect big hyzer, just put it up around the tree, set up a layup, and hoist the trophy.
And 30 under in 3 rounds, and not even full 18-hole round the first round. Solid golf from McBeth. We saw him have 2 spit outs this event. Never got him down. We saw him take a birdie look into a bogey on hole 17 during round 2. He never got down on himself, and this is going to be his first really signature win of 2018.
Yeah, it's really, I guess it's ace or die for these last 2. I mean, what little drama is left is riding on these shots. It's got to be a hole-in-one.
And this has to avoid the big tree, and it does not. Ricky, you are out of the competition now for ace and continue. Let's see if Eagle can give us some fireworks here.
But door open for Eagle because Ricky's pretty far away. Not that that stops Rick very often, but solo second place up for grabs. Eagle also not parked. Gonna be a putt off.
I'm going to say advantage Eagle by about 40 feet.
Ricky 4-2. Comes up short. Here I am from 66 feet.
And Paul's just going to lay this one up there for an easy 49, tying Peter McBride's course record. But this is an important putt. This is for solo second place. And
oh, yeah, and he knows it.
Wow.
Little fist pump. Eagle having a fantastic year, keeping it going.
Wow. Showing the big, long blonde hair. I'm sure he hasn't cut that in months. Nate, not your best day, but you live to play another tournament. But
absolutely, and congratulations to Paul. And that's win number 100 in the professional career. He might tell us about it here. Let's check in with Paul, see his feelings about winning the Nick Hyde Memorial.
Yeah, it was incredibly tight. We had the two on my card, Ricky and Eagle. We were all tied going into, I think, 16 or 17. And then there was Bradley Williams, the card right behind, and he was right there in the mix too. So we were all within a stroke, and I knew that. So I knew at least 3 birdies to finish was going to win it for someone. And fortunately, I was able to convert a birdie and an eagle. I've been throwing a really good drive off that tee, getting way down there to have an eagle look all 3 rounds. I only converted this round, which is the most important one, but I was able to have a T-bird second shot, which made it a lot easier with that little cove green that we have down there. Avoid all the OB, and I was able to hit the cage. A cage and a drop in, so almost albatross, but a guaranteed eagle. After 17, it took a lot of pressure off. Unfortunately, eagle went OB left, and Rick had an eagle putt and went off the top. So going into 18, having a 2-stroke lead really made it easy to just put it out there and then lay it up for the win.
Great win by Paul. Pretty crazy because I read online he was done. So pretty amazing that he's able to come back and storm to the top, get another win.
Usually the internet's right about these things, but this time...
Yeah, usually they have a great sense for when somebody's past their prime. Turns out he's still there. He's still got it. And got to be happy for him. As I said, 100th professional win of his career. Great milestone. I hope to get there one day myself. Thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Stay tuned, see if you can win yourself some discs.
Hey guys, you know the drill. We're here at the Nick Hyde Memorial. We got 2 more Big Sexy discs to give away. Make sure you subscribe and comment. Front 9 for this guy, little destroyer.
Back 9 for this destroyer. Follow these guys on YouTube. Like the video, please leave a comment. We read a lot of them. When it gets into 3,000s, it's kind of hard to go through all of them, but we really appreciate all your feedback. We really take your words into consideration, and we always appreciate your support.
Yeah, and I would say just make an interesting comment.
Yeah, make it interesting.
Seriously, stop with this cool disc, hope I get it. Think of something.
Yeah, I don't know. Think of
something constructive.